historic Bronzeville district, which is part of the King Lincoln area of Columbus, Ohio. Bronzeville is an area of the Near East Side, and this is Bethany Presbyterian Church and the Bethany Bronzeville Community Garden. What's historic is that this church, for instance, celebrated its 100th birthday last year, and the garden is 5 years old. It serves the community lunch program of Bethany Presbyterian Church, and that represents a continuity of the community that has always been served by the church. This is the Bronzeville Garden because in the 1930s, this area functioned as a suburb of its own with its own city council and city council chair. It is a significant African American community that has remained so for over 100 years. It was a city within a city because of segregation. It was an all-class community, meaning that both the poorest of the poor and the richest of the rich lived near each other in this area. And it was in function with its own resources, its own institutions, and the money that was generated in the community was put back into the community. We've lost some of that now, but we're regaining it when we have institutions like Bethany Presbyterian Church, which has supported the Bethany Bronzeville Community Garden, and in the past has supported the Bronzeville Growers Market. What we're looking at is sustainability. We're recognizing that although this is a food desert, meaning that there isn't a major grocery store within 1 mile, or there isn't affordable food that is accessible within a 1 mile radius of this area, we think it's important for people not only to know what fresh food is, but to be able to learn how to grow it themselves. Because we shouldn't always be dependent on food banks and free food. We should learn to be sustainable in all areas of our lives, and we think it's important to learn to do that by starting with the garden. We have home health care workers who are actually working for people within the community but pass by here on a daily basis and then say, oh, and many of them are from other countries as well, and they say, oh, I would like to grow my food here. Can I have a corner just to grow, something that I miss from my own home? And we say, sure, they can do that. We also have large groups of people who come on a regular basis from some of the area schools, some of the corporations, and they come to provide community service, and so we have those groups helping as well. We do have to be aware of our environment as a whole. And so, for instance, we don't grow corn. That's a crop that takes a lot of land, and it doesn't yield that much in terms of the land that it takes. So we don't do corn. But we do things like tomatoes, bell peppers, okra, different types of greens. We've got different kinds of kale. We have eggplant, 2 different types of eggplant, a number of different kinds of peppers, and cucumbers, and all those good kinds of things. It goes to support the community lunch program. This is a program that is approximately 15 years old now. Every Saturday, anybody who's hungry can come to eat. A number of resources are obtained from the Mid-Ohio Food Bank, and that's useful. But with the garden, the chef can actually plan ahead because he knows what will be right when and can work accordingly. With Mid-Ohio, you pretty much have to take what you can get. And very often it's the same thing like cabbage, onions, and tomatoes. Every Saturday, approximately 50 to 125 people are served here for free. There's no proselytizing, you don't have to sign anything, you simply come in and eat. And let me also add in Mother Nature a bit, because we have the garden divided, so on the outside there's a perimeter, and there we have what are called the pollinators. We primarily have flowers, so those flowers attract the bees and butterflies that then pollinate both the food and other flowers. So we see both the land and our relationship to people in the community as being synergistic. We have sight, sound, smell, touch, and taste in the garden. So our sound is the wind chimes that are made of kitchen utensils that were donated by different supporters of the garden. We've got thyme, there's sandelin, there's the lamb's ears, there's a sorrel, There's sage, and this is one of the plants that's actually started in West Africa and was brought here by enslaved Africans who were forced to work in the southern parts of the United States, you know. And so, but okra remains a cultural food product. So it goes from the hottest to the sweetest.
Okay.
And then this is oregano. And this is woodruff. And woodruff is what they use to make, the Europeans used to make absinthe, a liquor, all right? But traditionally, Africans and many indigenous people used it to put into their mattresses to keep away insects. So it's a natural bug repellent. So this is a leaf to put in the greens, and I know people are like, but this is for you. I want you to taste it. And then this is all okra, and then cherry tomatoes, and then there are the larger tomatoes at the other end. So look at it. As long as there's a flower, we should get another pod, which is then edible. I had one mother comment. She had her 4-year-old son, and she was very emphatic that she did not want any fresh tomatoes because he did not like them. And he was just standing there listening to us, and he reached up and grabbed a tomato and he put it in his mouth. And she watched him and she started to get frantic. I said, just relax. He ate the whole thing, and then he smiled. And for us, it was a perfect example of how this is a totally different taste from anything that you would get in the supermarket. And that when you grow it yourself, without any chemicals, using rainwater where possible, but city water where it's necessary, but you really take time with it, then there is a different taste than that which you get, which has traveled for thousands of miles, has a lot of chemicals, was picked when it wasn't ripe, and then you get it on your table. This is absolutely fresh, and it has a totally different taste. And this is another reason why we think it's important for people to grow their own food for their health. This is the way they grow. This is their nature. If you just put the seed in the ground and let it go, this is what you'll get. And you just simply cook it the same as others. But what we like to emphasize is that corporate America has really reduced us to eating 4 or 5 types of something, when really there are dozens and dozens of varieties of plants that we should be eating that each have a different taste. So I say just try these. And it's really good for the kids because they get excited, more excited than they do with the regular short green beans. So sometimes I say, you know, or sometimes other people say about me, if I'm irritable or something, they say, well, has she had her hands in the dirt? Because sometimes just getting out and really feeling the earth and looking at how different plants are relating to each other help me to understand how to function in the world better as a whole. And that's just another reason why I appreciate gardening.